Hey, restaurant owner and operators, here we are toward the beginning of a new year. I hope the first month has been fantastic for you. This is a great time to talk about restaurant budgets and how simple they actually are and how useful they will be in helping you hit your target food cost, beverage cost, beer, wine, liquor, how to hit all of your costs, keep them all in line in this new year. We're going to talk about it right now. Hey everybody, Ryan Gromfin here, author, speaker, chef, restaurateur, and the founder of therestaurantboss.com as well as clickbacon.com. And budgets, they don't sound fun, but trust me, they're super important and they actually are fun. So I get this question a lot of times, why do I even need a budget in my restaurant? And here's the analogy that I use. See, let's say that you like to shoot guns for fun. So you go out to the target range or a friend's backyard and you put a beer can on a rock and you try to shoot it. And when you hit it, it explodes and it's all great. And that's fun. But if you were a sniper in the military, if you were a police officer, if you needed your weapon for protection, you probably wouldn't practice shooting against a beer can on a rock. You'd probably want to shoot against a target. I have a friend who is a sports rifleman. He's actually kind of an expert. He can hit quarters at 1,000 yards, at 3,000 feet. That's pretty insane. But we were talking about it the other day, and in order to calibrate his rifle, he first sets up a target, and he'll take a shot, and then he'll adjust his scope, take another shot, adjust his scope, until he's ready. And then when he's got it all dialed in, he'll start trying to knock off these quarters at 1,000 yards. The point is that if he didn't start with that target, he wouldn't know, is he high, is he low, is he left, or is he right? See, in our restaurants, a lot of times at the end of the month, we may miss our target, but we don't even have a target. We may have a high food cost, but if we didn't start the month with a budget and then start measuring against that budget at certain benchmarks, then we really can't be angry when we didn't hit our target cost of goods sold or our target food costs or labor costs. So a budget helps keep you in line. It helps you know where you need to make adjustments. Now, people often say to me, well, budgets are too complicated. And I remember I was trying to set up my first budget way back in the day for a client. And I'll be honest with you, I went a little crazy on this budget and I had every single line item. And this budget took me weeks to create. And then when it was all done, I was like, why am I tracking half of these expenses that don't change? When I started looking at their gas bill stays the same the whole year. Sure, it goes up a little bit in the winter, goes down a little bit in the summer, but not only does it stay pretty flat, they can't control it. There's nothing they could realistically do to change their gas bill. So we redid the budget and I realized there's really no point in tracking that. So what should you be tracking in your restaurant? Your variable expenses. Your cost of goods sold, which is exactly that. It's the cost of any good that you sell. So this is your food cost, beer cost, wine cost, liquor cost, etc. Your labor, which is fully controllable. And then there's this other category called direct operating expenses. I'm not going to get into too much detail about what a direct operating expense is here, but basically anything related to sales that isn't a cost of goods sold. So for example, to-go containers in most restaurants are a direct operating expense. Because the busier you are, the more to-go containers you're going to use, but you don't actually sell to-go containers to your customers. So now let's get right into this. Let's create a budget. A lot of people think budgets are really complicated and hard to create, but I'm going to walk you through a quick exercise to show you how simple creating a budget actually is. I want you to pull out a piece of paper right now if you don't already have one out, and I want you to write 100,000 at the top. Let's just assume you're going to do $100,000 in sales in the next month, okay? Now, if you're going to do $100,000 in sales, I have a question for you. If you want your cost of goods sold to be 30%, how much can you spend on purchases? I'll give you another second here. $100,000 in sales, your target is a 30% cost of goods sold. How much can you spend on purchases? If you said $30,000, that's right. That's how easy it is to create a budget. Now let's do the same thing for labor. Same $100,000 in sales. You want to have a 30% labor cost. Well, don't spend more than $30,000 on labor throughout the month. So when you set up your schedules, set them up so they don't cost more than $30,000 in a month. Now, I know this sounds simple. Simple isn't always easy, but this is actually how simple it is to create a budget. Where it starts to get complex is when you have multiple different categories, like food, which may be 60, 70% of your sales, beer, which might be 10% of your sales, wine, liquor, etc. So we started to use spreadsheets for all this, and they look a little bit like this. You can see, like, they'll get the job done, but they're kind of dirty, they're kind of ugly. Well, guess what? It's 2018, folks. If you're still using spreadsheets, you're 10 years behind. You should be using some software for this. Now, there's a lot of different software tools out there. I happen to have created a tool called Bacon, which is what you're looking at right now. And this is exactly how I teach my clients and how users of the software can create a budget and then use it every month. I want to thank you for watching that video. If you can do me 3 really quick favors right now, very quick. The first is, if you haven't already, will you subscribe to this channel? In a moment, some things are going to pop up on your screen, some buttons, and one of those buttons is going to be subscribe. So whether you're watching this on my channel or on YouTube or on your phone, just stick around for 1 second and you're going to see a big subscribe button. If you haven't already, could you please subscribe? 2, if you haven't liked this video, will you go ahead and click the like button? Actually, don't just click it. Will you smash that like button and tell the world that you really enjoy this? Because the way that I can continue to bring you all this great free training is for my message to expand, for more restaurant owners and future restaurant owners around the world to be watching this. And so the way to do that is to like my video. So again, if you're watching on YouTube, there'll be a place for you to like it. Or if you're back on my website, there'll be a place for you to like that. So smash that like button for me. And then also, could you leave a comment? Ask me a question. I reply to all my comments as fast as I can, usually within about 24 hours. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer. But go ahead and ask me a question, leave me a comment, tell me you love the video, tell me you'd like to see something else in a video. If you need more detail on a certain area, I can film other videos about that. But if you can go ahead in a couple seconds now, it's gonna come out. If you can subscribe, like, and comment, that would be great. Also, there'll be a spot in this little button coming out in a few seconds where you can download something for free. I'm always rotating that, so take a look at that, some free tools. But if you're new to my channel, if you've never seen my videos before, there'll also be a spot for you to watch a video that'll kind of introduce you to what I do here at The Restaurant Boss and at clickbacon.com and tell you about what we do and how you can get more involved and how you can get more free stuff and all that. So the button should be coming in by now. Go ahead and click on those and have an absolutely wonderful day. Thank you so much.